Hello, my name is John. I'm a volunteer with Voter Choice Arizona. We are a nonpartisan nonprofit that is working to bring ranked choice voting here to Arizona. Uh, I've been asked to make this video, a little brief video about ranked choice voting, to discuss what ranked choice voting is, some of the reasons behind it, reason why we feel that it's necessary, and some of the benefits. And then if any of this appeals to you and you would like us to come back, we can do a more thorough presentation for you at a later time. So let's get to it. What is ranked choice voting? Ranked choice voting is a pro-voter, nonpartisan voting reform that allows voters to rank candidates in their order of preference, first favorite, second favorite, third favorite, and so forth. So why is that important? Why is that necessary? Because with our current elections, if there are more than two candidates in an election, there's something called vote splitting or the spoiler effect, where if you vote for the candidate that you love, that may not have a great shot at winning, instead of the candidate that you like or can tolerate that does have a good shot at winning, you can paradoxically end up helping elect a candidate that you don't like. And then this sets up a dynamic for voters where they feel like they can't vote for the candidate that represents them best. They have to vote for what's known as the lesser of two evils. It also sets up animosity between similar voters, particularly voters that support a more mainstream popular candidate, and they feel that votes have been stolen or siphoned away from their candidate, thus denying their candidate the victory, and again, paradoxically electing the candidate that they don't like. So our current way of voting has these disincentives because of the structure of the way that we vote. Other issues with the way that we vote that ranked choice voting can help address is that this spoiler label actually has a disincentivizing effect on whether candidates actually choose to run or not, thus denying voters choices. So if you've ever looked at your ballot and thought, I don't like any of these candidates, why don't I have better choices? In part, it's because the structure of the way that we vote disincentivizes, discourages, and in some cases punishes candidates who choose to run, who may or may not be a Democrat or a Republican, or even the favored Democrat or Republican. Then there are other issues in terms of the way that we vote, having weird effects that ranked choice voting can address. There are what's known as sham candidates that are purposefully recruited to split the vote to benefit a certain candidate, which is kind of unethical but legal, and is a strategy used with our current voting system because of this vote splitting dynamic. There's issues with what are known as non-majority winners. When there are more than two candidates in an election, the more candidates that there are, the more likely it is that a candidate is going to win without a majority, without an absolute majority, more than 50% of the vote. They're going to win with like 20, 30, or 40% of the vote, thus not being a real representative winner of the electorate. There's also issues with wasted votes. We see this a lot in presidential primaries where people get their ballots, they vote early, and they vote for a candidate who later drops out before the election, so they've just wasted their vote and they don't have a backup vote or ability to cast another vote. So ranked choice voting mitigates all these things, allows you to have your cake and eat it too. There's no more voting for the lesser of two evils. Candidates have to get a majority of support, meaning they have to win with more than 50% of the vote. Voters are given more choices. Elections tend to be more positive because it changes incentives in elections where you have to make a positive affirmative case why voters should vote for you, as opposed to tearing down your opponent. And then also candidates are incentivized to be nice to their opponents' supporters to try and get those second and third place votes. So it tends to turn down the negativity in terms of elections. And then it also removes barriers for female and candidates of color. We've seen that in ranked choice voting elections, females and candidates of color tend to win more often, and that's not because it inherently biases towards those candidates. It just removes inherent barriers to those candidates, and they tend to do better in ranked choice voting elections. And then finally, ranked choice voting tends to help with turnout by encouraging more candidates to bring more people to the table, to their campaigns, the issues that they bring to the table, the increase in positivity. We've seen that ranked choice voting tends to increase turnout in elections. So if any of this appeals to you, if you'd like to hear more, and you would like us to do a more in-depth presentation, please let us know. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time and have a great day. Bye-bye.